Hey Mama Bears, welcome to my little corner of the world. This is a place where we embrace the beautiful chaos of motherhood. As a Mama Bear of two, I wanted to share my journey and experiences with fellow Mama Bears just like you. Motherhood is beautiful yet an challenging adventure, and I'm here to offer some motivation, inspiration, and encouragement along the way. I believe that with a positive mindset and support from one another, we can make this journey even more meaningful. Life becomes even more amazing when we have people by our side, and here in this space, we can connect, share stories, and grow as mothers. So let's embark on this incredible journey together. I'm excited to hear your story and become part of your motherhood experience. Hey there, Mama Bears, and welcome back to another episode of Mama Bears Everywhere. In today's podcast episode, guys, we are going to be touching base on a really touchy subject, and that's setting boundaries. So in the last episode of Mama Bears Everywhere, I had an incredible honor of interviewing an incredible Mama Bear. And she actually asked me a couple questions as well. And one of the questions that she asked me was, what advice would I give a new mama bear? And so my answer to that question was, don't be afraid to set boundaries. And I wanted to touch a little bit more on this topic because it is super touchy, and I feel that not everybody knows how to set those boundaries, right? And I want to inspire and encourage people to get back to what makes their home feel like a sanctuary and how you can build this amazing foundation with you and your new little family unit, and to just encourage you to do things that are going to make sense for you and your family. And ultimately, Mama Bear, it's about you and yours at this point, right? When you have a baby, Mama, you are detaching yourself from your in-laws, you're detaching yourself from your mom or dad or grandparents, right? And you're becoming your own unit. And so I want to just encourage you that it is okay to set boundaries. And I think a lot of people don't know how to do this. So I'm going to give you a couple steps on what I've done in the past and what other Mama Bears have done in the past as well to help them set those boundaries and like what happens in each stage, right? Because each stage is a little bit different. So let's go ahead and start with stage one, and that's going to be the newborn stage, right? And so setting boundaries, I know typically it used to be a tradition where the family would come to the hospital to meet baby, right? And meet new baby. And with the 2020 pandemic, things changed up a little bit. I remember when spouses weren't allowed to be at the hospital, or, it went down to you could just have one support person in the room with you, and that was just mommy and their significant other or somebody that they trusted. And then those things got shorter and shorter. You could have very minimal visitors or none at all. So things kind of got thrown for a loop. But at this time, it also helped parents experience things in such a beautiful way. And it allowed parents to set boundaries that made sense to keep their baby safe, for them to have proper bonding, making sure that mama learned how to breastfeed correctly, learned how to just feel herself, right? She went through a big transition going through birth, or, if she had a cesarean, trying to heal after that, understand what was going on with her body. The hormones are just insane at that time. Body functions are insane at that time. So there's a lot. And then for people wanting to come and visit you during that time, it's hard. It's so hard. It's a beautiful experience. Don't get me wrong. For my first, I had people come visit us at the hospital. But at the same time, it was hard because I was trying to get baby to latch, and, you know, my breasts were exposed, and I had people to leave the room for a moment and stand out in the hallway, and it was just awkward, right? It was just so awkward. And then my face was puffy, and I didn't want people seeing me like that. So it was just like a hard balance to have. And you can have that happen, or you can set the boundaries and say, hey, can you wait until we get home so we have time to settle in, we have time for bonding, we have time for mommy and daddy to experience baby, and then the rest will come later. So don't be afraid. If you are a pregnant mama right now and you're listening and trying to get prepared for new baby to come, I want to encourage you that it is okay to set those boundaries. All right, for the next stage, guys, is that in that infant stage, there's a lot coming, like when you come home and you bring baby home, right? And it's that infant newborn stage. Everybody's going to want to see baby, hold baby, touch baby. And so this is that next part of setting boundaries with newborn baby. We had to make sure that our family, and please, like, this is just suggestions. Do not think of me saying this like end all be all. Take what resonates and just leave the rest behind. Like, if you are in a position right now where you are nervous about setting boundaries, where you want to set boundaries with family, where you are just like, this is just too much, everybody is just too much, and it's overwhelming me in my space, and I just need them to give me space, it's okay to say that. Okay, and that's where this is coming from. That is where the encouragement is coming from. It's not to put even more pressure on you. If you are all about family coming and holding baby, kissing baby, and being at the hospital and all this stuff, and you've always wanted that and you've always envisioned that, live in that, enjoy it, soak it all in, and be in that moment. But if that is something that you are not wanting and is a little overwhelming for you, it is okay to say no. And that's where I want you to hear the difference, because there's a lot of women out there who said, I wish I would have set boundaries. I wish I would have said no. I wish I would have waited a little longer. I wish I would have did things a little bit differently. And from their stories, from their experience, and us discussing what they have gone through and how they wish they would have done things a little bit differently, that is where this talk is coming from. You know, we have a women's group on Facebook, MamaBearsEverywhere group. And in there, it's a more intimate forum where we have open discussions on different topics. And some of the stuff that we've talked about in the past was setting those boundaries with people. And this is why we're discussing this now, because it is something that we do need to put on the forefront and on the table to empower future mama bears, that they have a voice and their voice matters. Okay. I'm just the voice of reasoning to say, hey, it is absolutely okay to do so. You know, sometimes people don't give permission to themselves right away. They need to hear a voice of reason on the outside saying yes, absolutely, and validate them and how they're feeling. And that is what this is right now. So again, going back to that, you know, newborn infant stage, you have baby coming home, setting those boundaries to say, hey, would you mind washing your hands before you hold baby? Would you mind sanitizing your hands before you hold baby? They don't have the immunities when they are born. So they slowly have to, you know, try and build up those immunities through being exposed slowly and breastfeeding and things like that. So asking people to, you know, shower before they come, don't wear overwhelming perfumes, don't have overwhelming scents or things on their skin that would trigger an allergic reaction or trigger some kind of respiratory issue or cause just irritation or get the baby sick, right? We want to avoid those things. So asking for those steps, you are 100% empowered to do so, Mama Bear. And helping your guests get to that spot, right? And make it a normal thing. Like, when people arrive at your home, you can have a note on the door. You can have your significant other, somebody saying like, hey, these are the steps. Have the soap, have the wash station, have the paper towels all ready to go, so they can just take care of what they need to take care of, so they can come and be with you and celebrate you and your new baby in that beautiful new moment. Okay, so that is that next portion right there. And then kissing the baby, right? I've had family members want to they get those ansias. That's what we call it in our Hispanic family. They get ansias, and you don't want to give the baby ojo and, all those things. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, like, please, it's just like, they want to touch the baby. They want to hold the baby because they have so much love. But if they don't do it in a healthy way, it becomes like a jealousy thing upon the baby, and those energies that are passed on can essentially make the baby sick, right? And so that's in our belief, in our Hispanic culture, is like, we don't want to give the baby ojo, so they try and, bless the baby, give them a cross on their forehead, or send them so much love and admiration for that new spirit. And so, like I've said in my previous videos, I'm very spiritual. So trying to introduce you all to all that slowly is, just stay with me a little bit. But yes, that in our culture, that is something that we do. Everybody comes and blesses the baby, and they do that in their own way. But we have to also set boundaries of like, hey, can you not touch the baby's face? Like, can you give them a sign of the cross, like on their clothing? Or especially with like COVID and stuff, it just made everybody's anxiety go through the roof. And so like, even now, when I hear people, it's like, no, how about we do things a little bit different this go around? Can we bless the baby else, a different way? Can we, please don't kiss the baby on the lips. Please don't kiss the baby on the face, or, like just blow kisses, or just from afar, So just adapting those new things can scientifically help with sicknesses and germs and all the things like that. Okay, so just use your discernment, and whatever you and your family fits and is necessary for you guys. I know it's hard to break traditions and things like that, and sometimes older folks don't understand, right? Because they're just like, I'm here to show my love, I'm here to present my offering and my support, and that's the only way that they know how to do that. So please be mindful on that. Like, you may get backlash from family members of like, oh, like, you're just being mean, or you're just doing this, and just say, no, we've thought about it. This is what we discussed. These are our boundaries. Please respect them. If not, there's the door, But most people will, slowly start to understand. You just have to keep introducing them, explaining, and just work with them, because not all of them are going to understand, okay? So just be patient, just be mindful, and just use your voice and confidence behind what you're saying. Of that no is just going to give you more empowerment and just make you feel better about your decisions, and it's going to let them know that you are also serious and you're taking yourself serious, right? And you're just drawing that line. And that's 100% okay, Mama Bears. We talked about newborn, infant, bringing baby home, infant into toddy, right? This is where we start introducing foods. This is where allergies come through. This is like babies trying to experience things for the first time, first steps, first this, first that, first experience for everything, right? And this is the time where parents want to just be there and experience it all. And if you have people helping and babysit and watch the baby, sometimes you also have to put boundaries in this stage as well. And that could look like, hey, when you are watching our Peanut, I call them Peanuts, if you watch our Peanut or the baby during this time, right, please don't introduce new foods. Please don't give them something that's not approved. Please don't take them somewhere to go experience something for the first time. I know grandparents get so excited and they want to like re-experience things, and they're like, oh, do you remember when we did this? Do you remember when we did that? And that's awesome. They can come along the journey for that. But a lot of the times parents want to be the first one to take their child somewhere, right? Like the first time to the zoo, the first time they suck on a lemon or eat a pickle, right? And see the cute little sour faces. Or, how are they going to react when they went from applesauce to pears? Or how did they react when they ate peas? Or how did they react when they ate mango or banana? And it's a lot of the times parents want to see that firsthand and experience it because it's theirs. They made that beautiful soul. They made that beautiful baby, and they just want to be part of it. And sometimes, I'm sorry if anybody out there is listening, please do not take offense. I'm not trying to single you out, but like grandparents, in-laws, auntie, distant grandmas, things like that, and you're just gonna have to say like, hey, they haven't had that yet. Mom and dad will give them that just in case there's any type of reaction or they don't like it. We just want to be there, okay? And you just have to tell them bluntly, this is the approved food. Bring your own food, bring their own snacks, whatever you're giving them at the time, and then give them the schedule, give them, the times, the breakdowns, all this stuff, okay? And yeah, don't be afraid to set those boundaries or call people out for doing things that you do not approve of. Same thing with certain things that they're watching on TV. I know we had to set a lot of boundaries because there were some cartoons that said the specific language that we didn't approve of, or the teachings just wasn't to our standards. And it's okay to have standards, guys. That's the other thing. Please take the whole takeaway from this is it's okay to have standards, and it's okay to say no, and it's okay to set boundaries. But yeah, TV shows, going to certain places, things like that, if you do not approve of those things, like, please say it out loud, okay? Say it out loud. And if those things happen, life happens, things happen that are going to be outside of your control, don't be afraid to like circle back and address them and just be like, hey, I understand this and this happened today. However, this is how I feel about it, and this is why, this is my reasonings, and next time can we do it like this instead, right? So you have to have those open channels and communications with your support and the people that you allow into your space and into your life, because ultimately they're helping you, they're doing you a favor. A lot of the times if grandparents and friends and things like that are helping you watch your babies, it does take a village to raise our littles, but it's okay to just like be like, okay, this is what happened, this is how I wish it would have went, can we do this next time, right? And so you just hit those points in those conversations. And I know sometimes they're hard to have those conversations, but they are necessary. And nothing changes unless something changes. So you have to be willing to address those things and then stand up for your beliefs and how you want things to go. Okay, Mama Bear? I feel like through all of this, each stage is going to be different, guys. Even into when they're kids and teens and young adults, you're going to have to set some type of boundaries, and it's going to change, right? You're going to have to set boundaries with them, not only your support group, but you're going to also have to set boundaries with them, and that is a whole other ball game. So we will probably touch on that in a later episode, so stay tuned for that, guys. And in the meantime, Mama Bears, if you are in a position where you feel overwhelmed or stressed or in a certain situation where you don't know how to handle it, you can always join our Mama Bears Everywhere community. We are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, here on the podcast. You can always submit questions. I had mentioned earlier, we have a Mama Bears Everywhere Facebook group. We also have a page, but we also have a group, and that's going to be our more intimate setting where you can ask anonymous questions. You can go into in-depth discussions on certain things and ask others how they handled situations in the past and what was the outcome and how they went about it. So that space is meant for you to build long-lasting friendships and just have a trustworthy support at your back to get you through each stage that you're going through. We welcome you with open arms, and please feel free to join that at any time. We are there for you. And like I said, please do not forget to submit your questions. We're happy to help. Happy to go through this journey with you, Mama Bear. It not only takes a village to raise our children, but it also takes a village to raise ourselves. And we are also going through a lot. We are also growing through this motherhood journey, and we're here if you need us. So I will leave you with that, Mama Bears. I hope you have a blessed afternoon. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share this with a friend who could use some uplifting and support and some encouragement. And don't forget to, say hey anywhere on social media. Like I said, if you hang out on TikTok, come and hang out with us on TikTok. If you are on an Instagram, always DM us, say hey, shout us out in the stories. We are going to be doing some free giveaways. Look out for that. Those giveaways are going to be coming soon. If you want to be a featured Mama Bear here on the podcast and all across our social media platforms to grow. If you know me at all, my mission is to inspire, encourage, and to grow along with others. So if you would like to grow along with us, come and be a featured Mama Bear on the podcast. We would love to interview you, learn a little bit more about you so we can help other Mama Bears out there, right? I have my knowledge and experience, but it only goes so far, okay? We need all the Mama Bears to give some love and inspiration and encouragement to these beautiful Mama Bears out there, right? We are all different. We all connect differently, and we all have a different story to tell. So come and be part of the space. And like I said, don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, take care, be well, stay blessed. Mwah. Love you lots. There's a reason for the season, right? And not all seasons are the same.